JBN, we keep you informed. Jamaica's Most Wanted, Episode 11, Michael Lassie Forbes. Let me say none of the episodes in this series is to glorify any of these monsters, but it's been used as an avenue to say to the young people, eventually crime doesn't pay. Most, if not all of these subjects died violently and at a young age. Michael Lassie Forbes would have been considered the reputed leader of the St0ne Crvsh3r gang, or as a result of his longevity, a senior member. In addition, Forbes would have gained some gangland notoriety as he had escaped from captivity 7 months after he had been sentenced to 12 years for illegal possession of a gun and ammunition. As early as June of 2001, Forbes came into contact with the system, both the police and court. He had been convicted in the Montego Bay Gun Court and is sentenced to 12 years for illegal possession of a gun and ammunition. Thereafter, he ended up at the Tambourine Farm Correctional Center located in Spanish Town. This place was anything but a secure place to hold a person with a conviction and sentence such as Forbes. On January 29, 2002, barely 7 months after he had been serving his sentence, Forbes decided that he had enough of captivity and escaped. Following his escape, Forbes seemed to have conducted his criminal activities quietly. However, his name also became linked to the February 8, 2006 Blood Lane triple killings and the shootout that left Bigger Crime Williams and Roy McLennan dead. Almost 5 months to the day of February 8, 2006 Blood Lane triple killings, and about 6 weeks after the March 21, 2006 shootout with the police, Crvsh's Norwood enclave awoke on July 3, 2006 to the news that 5 persons had been shot and killed in one continuous incident. The dead included 43-year-old Patrick Anderson, 29-year-old Natalie Ferguson, 57-year-old Linda McCollum, and her common-law husband, 62-year-old Michael Montague, and their 20-year-old son, Michael Jr. What made it more frightening? The elderly couple, 57-year-old Linda Malcolm and the 62-year-old Michael Montague, were not caught in the path of stray bullets. No, the gunmen had kicked down their door and just sprayed them with bullets. Most disturbingly, their killers also set their dwelling place on fire. The previous torching of the bodies of the common-law couple, the trademark beheading victims surrounded by burning candles, the 2 containers of gasoline in the abandoned car, now the setting of a fire to the dwelling place after slaying this elderly couple, was clue enough that fire may have been a St0ne Crvsh3r's trademark and seemingly had some significance to the gang, a sort of calling card. In the absence of hard evidence, speculation flew far and wide. Gang-related activities had played some role where motive was concerned. What was not speculation is that Forbes was implicated. On Wednesday, July 4, 2006, not even a full day after the 5 killings in Norwood, at around 11:30 p.m., a police party stormed a house in a housing scheme called Huddersfield in Orocobessa in the parish of St. Mary. Forbes, who resided at Glendevon St James, was killed after he allegedly pulled a gun and pointed it at the police, who had gone in the community to search for him. Forbes, a police spokesman, said, recently rented the house in his efforts to elude the St. James police, who had placed him on their most wanted list following the murder of the 5 residents of Norwood in Montego Bay, St. James. According to St. Mary police spokesperson Angela McTaggart, the police received information that Forbes was holed up in a house in the Huddersfield housing scheme and went in search of the gang leader at about 11:30 the Wednesday night. Upon seeing the cops, the police said, Forbes pulled a gun from his waistband and aimed it at the lawman who returned the fire. Forbes was shot and taken to the St. Ansby Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. A 9mm Beretta pistol with 16 rounds and a magazine with 15 rounds were taken from the body, the police spokesperson said. McTaggart said Forbes was identified by his fingerprints. The police said Forbes, who had no known relatives in St. Mary, and believed that his main reason for renting the house was to avoid detection by the police. The police did not give the exact address of the house, which they said was for security reasons. Assistant Commissioner Keith Trinity Gardner, the officer in charge of Area 1, which includes Montego Bay, confirmed that Forbes was the reputed leader of the Stone Crusher gang and was one of the names on the list. Gardner said Forbes was an escaped convict who was a menace to society and was linked to several killings in Norwood. Forbes eluded the police in a May 21 shootout in St. James, in which Delano Williams, otherwise called Bigger Crime, 22 years old, and Roy McLennan, 20, both of Norwood and reputed Stone Crusher members, were shot and killed. In that incident, Forbes and another gang member, Cedric Murray, otherwise called Doggy, of Glendevon, escaped. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to continue following this series.